All right, we're going to talk about how to stay healthy through the holidays. So stay tuned. So we're actually going to do this video live, Robyn's live on Facebook using her cell phone. So I just wanted to say that so when you see this video, you'll see what it's going to look like. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey Facebook friends, here as promised, about 9 minutes late. Sorry about that. I did just get home from an awesome walk in Central Park with a new friend that I've met here in New York, a lady I met at the gym, and we went for a beautiful walk. It's a little chilly, but not too bad. But anyway, Chris and I were on our dog walk this morning, and we were just talking about different things, and you know, I'm talking to people about getting healthy, and some are deciding to wait until after the holidays, which, you know, is fine, and that's exactly what I say to them. You know, it's your choice, do whatever you want to do. And some that are deciding to get healthy today. And so that was our conversation. And, you know, we struggle a little bit with trying to understand why people want to wait till after the holidays. Again, no judgment, but we, you know, for us, it's just hard for us to understand it. So we were just chatting about it. And like I told someone today, you know, your decision, but if you decide to get healthy now, you've got several weeks to get healthy habits established between now and the holidays, or now in the new year, because a lot of people want to wait till the new year. But you have, you know, several weeks to get some healthy habits already established, so you kind of have a foot up before, you know, New Year's, when everybody does their resolutions. And, you know, the holidays are, you know, a couple meals, you know, maybe for some people a couple more than others, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, you could still spend the majority of the time being healthy. Anyway, I was saying that, you know, my weakness is sweets. And I was talking to Chris and I was saying, you know, well, sure, over the holidays, I'll probably eat more sweets than I normally would. But I also would, if I get together with my family or something, and they have sweets there that I don't typically eat, like just some random time during the year or whatever, just some family gathering. And if there are desserts there at the table, I'm probably gonna eat more than I would, you know, any other time. Because I don't have those kinds of things in my house, so I'm not gonna eat them, and I don't go out and get them. But if they're right there in front of me at a random family dinner, chances are I'm going to eat more than I should. So it's no different than the holidays. So I guess my point is that why are the holidays any different than any other random family gathering? So if you're going to, you know, make some unhealthy choices, I don't call it cheating, you know, because that's just not what I do. I just live a healthy lifestyle, but sometimes I make unhealthy choices. You know, I'm real just like anybody else. But it's not just the holidays that I'm going to do it. There's like random times during the year that I'm going to do it. So that's why we were talking about like what makes the holidays so hard for people to decide to get healthy over. Now, Chris's weakness is not sweets. So we were bantering back and forth a little bit. So basically I said to Chris, you know, I would probably eat more than I would during a normal time. But then Chris said, and I'm not going to say what he said, but I just want to remind you, Chris, you started to say, well, you know, when I'm in the office and they bring sweets in. So what did you say?
Well, I know I just don't eat them. I mean, it seems like every day, especially during the holidays, people are bringing in all sorts of junk food and sweets and stuff, and I just never had a desire to eat that stuff because I knew that it wasn't going to be healthy for me, and I wasn't going to feel great eating that stuff. And to me, the holidays aren't really about eating a bunch of sweets. It's about, you know, it's about enjoying the people and being around with people you care about and just enjoying the fun of it all. But I also did say that.
But I said that for Chris, not everybody's like you. Not, you know, like me. I love sweets. and that would be hard for me. So then what did you suggest?
Well, then what I suggested, instead of eating like all the sweets, and maybe like, not one whole, like if there's a big cookies, if some of the cookies are really big size, well, just cut the cookie in quarters and eat 1/4 of the cookie and leave the rest for somebody else. It can also be, you don't have to eat everything that's out there. So if there's 12 different desserts out there, maybe you just eat a little bit of one, or maybe a little bit of two, but you shouldn't feel the need to try everything that's out there.
Well, and that's true.
Keep it in moderation, and I think that you'll be okay.
Right. So then I interrupted you. You were going to say something else. Do you remember what you were going to say?
No, that's basically it. Is to keep it in moderation and make sure that you're not overindulging in anything during the holidays. And there's always an excuse, and we can talk about that later maybe, but there's always an excuse to eat a lot of bad food, because that's how we were brought up. The only reason why food is so important to us during this time is because that's what we are trained to be like when we were growing up, and so we're brainwashed in a way, and so there's always going to be something though. So then the next thing you know, it's going to be Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day or whatever it is, someone's birthday. And I remember being in the office, and every day almost somebody's birthday was up, and so they had a cake and everyone ate the cake. And the thing is that it's not just about the cake. You can have these celebrations without eating a lot of junk food.
All right, so let's talk about your weakness. And it's not mine, and that's drinking.
Yes. I mean, I don't think I'm a big drinker at all, because I do cut it back down, but I do like to have some drinks, but I also keep it under control so that I don't really feel anything. Because I don't like the feeling of being drunk. I just like the taste of a good drink, but I don't like the feeling of having too many. So yeah, so all I would say is that I would have one drink and I would nurse it a little bit. Not in the office, of course.
Right.
We don't have to worry about that anymore because we don't work in an office anymore. But I just would make sure that I keep it under control, because I just don't like that feeling.
Right, so let's say you went to, like a Christmas bar or something like that.
Yeah, I would have like one drink at the Christmas bar. I wouldn't have like 2 or 3. And those drinks tend to be very sugary, because at Christmas time you're going to try some of the holiday drinks, and they are so loaded with sugar, not just from the alcohol, but from all the simple syrup and everything they put in those drinks to make them taste so good. So when you have one of those, you don't really need a whole lot more. Most of the drinking I like is like a glass of red wine at dinner. That I enjoy more than having these very sugary drinks that people have in the holidays.
Right. And like I said, I don't really like the taste of alcohol. I much prefer the taste of chocolate. So if we go to a Christmas bar, I have no problem getting like a club soda with a lime in it or something like that, just so I can feel like I'm in the festive mood too, because I don't really enjoy it.
And I just want to say, I like chocolate too. That's my,
right.
I do have a weakness for that, but I don't go, because we're vegan, I don't eat milk chocolate, I eat dark chocolate. And the darker the chocolate, the better. So lately I've been eating 100% dark chocolate, and that has absolutely no sugar in it. Now, it does take a little bit to get used to eating 100% dark chocolate, because it's very bitter. And like I said, there's no sugar, but I'm really starting to gain a taste for that. And so you could have weaknesses, but you can also make alternatives to those weaknesses to make them a little bit healthier than what they would be if you ate, let's say, a Milky Way bar.
Right. That's true.
Which has tons of sugar in it.
Right. So just since we're on the topic, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to bring up, Chris. I will say this in the meantime. Some tips, like if you are at a holiday party, I just heard this tip the other day and I thought it was really good. Hold your water bottle in one hand, or like your glass with your fizzy water and lemon in one hand, and like a napkin or tissue in the other hand, so your hands aren't free to sit there and just like grab stuff off the table. And also don't stand near the table. I mean, everyone knows that one, stand away from the food. And obviously it's not as easy just to keep mindlessly grabbing food. So keep your hands occupied, have your glass in one hand and a tissue or a napkin in the other hand, and then it makes it more awkward to just try to mindlessly eat the nuts or eat the M&Ms that are like in the bowl. Whatever it is that you can just so mindlessly eat. If your hands are full, it makes it a lot harder to do.
Yeah, and I would say if you're gonna snack on some of it, sometimes they give you options. They have the big plate, they have the small plate, and then they just have napkins. And my recommendation is don't fill the big plate up with junk. And maybe the best thing to do is to actually just take a napkin, put a couple of whatever it is that you want, but whatever fits on that napkin, that's going to be what you eat, and you don't go back. And so then, like you said, you get a couple things on your napkin and you walk away from the table, and then you do what's the most important part, and that is you interact with the people that you care about at these parties, and you have fun that way. But you're not standing right at the table, or you don't have this big old plate full of food that you are going to regret eating after you've eaten it all.
Right.
I guarantee if you only eat a couple of things, you'll still get some of the treats in, you'll still feel festive and all that, but you won't. No one who eats less is ever going to feel bad about that after the fact. They're going to feel good about it.
Right. So back to our main point of why we hopped on here right now was basically, whether you decide, what are you going to decide to do? If you want to get healthy, that is, if you're deciding that you want to get healthy, do something about your health, are you going to do it now, or are you going to wait till January 1st? Again, no judgment, do what you want to do, but really, why wait? All you're going to do is add an extra 5 pounds on between now and the beginning of the year. So then you got that extra 5 pounds to take off. Or you could start today and, make all smart choices between now and January 1st, and you'll probably be down 10 pounds. Or make some smart choices, some not so smart choices, maybe be down 5 pounds, or the worst, just stay where you are today. But at least you won't be up those 5 pounds that a lot of people.
Well, you always hear people gain the whole COVID thing was 15 whatever it was, 15 pounds. Well, the holidays is the same way, but I think it's more like 10 pounds or something. But the average person gains a lot of weight over that time period, and then they have to try to take it off, and it's just really not worth it if you really think about it.
Right, and that's how we started our conversation, is that we've never really gained that much weight over the holidays.
Yeah, I never gain anything over the holidays. So.
Right. And I might gain a pound or two, but I take it off. Like if I gain it 1 week, that next week that pound or two is off, because I have the tools now and I know what to do. And again, they're decisions I make, not mindless eating that I do over the holidays. So again, if you want to get healthy now, awesome, kudos. If you want to wait, awesome, kudos. But just think about it. And if you are waiting, why? Think about it. I coach my clients to be intentional about all aspects of their life. So even thinking about when they want to get healthy, be intentional about it. Don't just automatically write it off and say, hey, it's the holidays, I'm going to wait till January 1st. If that's what you want to do, great, but at least think about it before you make that decision.
Right, that's a good point. I just wanted to say, your life would be so much better if you just put a little mindfulness behind it. And so, about everything. So because we could easily sit on a couch and eat a bag of potato chips mindlessly because you're not thinking about what you're putting in. But if you could remain mindful about it and say, why am I eating this bag of chips? Chances are you're not going to eat the whole bag of chips because you're being mindful about it and you're making a choice then. And the more you can do that through the holiday season and all through the year, you're going to be much better. So just think about what you're doing, and you won't get into this whole mindless zombie type of activity where you're just eating. It's almost like being on autopilot, right?
Right.
Because it's a habit, and the habits tend, either good or bad, habits are there. And so if you are typically sit on a couch and eat potato chips every day mindlessly, well, that's going to become a habit and you're going to be doing it. And the only way to break out of it is to actually think about what you're doing and make a choice not to do it.
Right.
So, and then that will become a habit, and then you won't be doing it.
Right, exactly. So we do have a couple people watching us right now live, and I have the option to bring you on video with us. So if anybody wants to join us, just let me know. I don't know, you might have a little thing that says, hey, I'd like to come on video and discuss this with you. Or you could just maybe send a message or something, or make a comment. I might see it. But nobody wants to join us. Oh well, no worries. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this, and I hope that you have an awesome, awesome holiday season. Who are you calling mindless zombies? Not you. Right?
Yeah, not you. Not you.
Pretty funny. All right.
Sorry if I had that impression, but I'm not calling anyone a mindless zombie.
Carol, were you the one that brought cookies into the office? Anyway, again, hope you guys have awesome holidays. Thanks for joining us. Take care, guys.